Hello and welcome back to Sleepy Health. As your breathing slows and your body becomes heavier, we gently shift our attention inward, toward one of the quietest yet most powerful systems within you, the nervous system. Imagine it not as something mechanical or complex, but as a soft, glowing network of light spreading calmly through your body, listening, sensing, responding, always aware. The nervous system is your body's communication language. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, every movement you make, and every sensation you notice is carried along this invisible network. It begins in the brain, rests within the spinal cord, and extends outward through billions of delicate nerve fibers, reaching the skin, the muscles, the organs, even the smallest corners of your body. As you lie still, this system remains awake, quietly maintaining balance, guiding breath, regulating heartbeat, and protecting you without asking for attention. At the center is the brain, soft and folded, floating gently within its protective space. It does not shout, it whispers. Electrical signals move slowly and rhythmically, like waves on a calm lake. These signals travel down the spinal cord, a long, silvery pathway that acts as a bridge between thought and action. From there, nerves branch outward, thinner and finer, like roots of an ancient tree, carrying messages both outward and inward at the same time. Some of these messages move toward the body, telling muscles when to contract, when to relax, when to hold still. Others move inward, carrying information from the skin, the joints, and the organs back to the brain. The feeling of warmth, the pressure of the floor beneath you, the gentle rise of your chest as you breathe, all of these sensations arrive through the nervous system, softly translated into awareness. There are two main rhythms within this system, working together in quiet harmony. One is alert and activating, gently preparing the body to respond, to move, to focus. The other is calming and restorative, guiding the body toward rest, repair, and recovery. Right now, as your body settles, the calming rhythm takes the lead. Signals slow, muscles soften, the heartbeat becomes steadier, digestion deepens, healing begins. Your nerves themselves are living structures, protected by insulating layers that allow signals to move smoothly and efficiently. When the nervous system is calm, these signals flow like slow-moving light. When stress appears, the signals become sharper, faster, louder. Sleepy Health invites you back into softness, where messages move gently and clearly without urgency. Over time, the nervous system adapts to how you live. Calm environments teach it safety. Gentle routines teach it rhythm. Chronic stress can teach it tension, but rest can teach it trust again. Even now, as you listen, your nervous system is learning. It is receiving a message that says, you are safe, you can slow down, you can rest. This system is deeply connected to your blood, your heart, and your breath. With each slow inhale, nerves signal relaxation. With each exhale, tension quietly releases. Blood flow responds, vessels soften, oxygen delivery becomes smoother. The nervous system listens to every breath you take and adjusts your inner world accordingly. Imagine your nerves glowing softly, one by one, as if being gently warmed from within. The nerves in your face relax, releasing the jaw and forehead. The nerves in your neck soften, allowing the shoulders to sink. The spine becomes calm and supported. Signals traveling downward tell the legs and feet that they no longer need to hold tension. Everything is connected, and everything is allowed to rest. Even while you sleep, the nervous system remains present. It organizes memory, processes emotion, repairs pathways, and strengthens communication. Dreams are not random, they are part of this quiet work. The nervous system uses sleep as a healing space, a time to reset sensitivity, rebuild balance, and prepare you gently for another day. As you drift deeper into calm, remember that your nervous system is not something you must control. It responds naturally to gentleness, to patience, to stillness. By slowing your breath, by resting your body, by listening quietly, you are already caring for it. No effort is required. As you remain resting in this quiet inner space, we can move even deeper into the nervous system, not by analyzing it sharply, but by gently observing how it lives and breathes within you. Beneath the surface calm, billions of nerve cells are constantly communicating, not in chaos, but in beautifully organized patterns that resemble slow constellations of light. Each nerve cell, called a neuron, is like a tiny messenger, receiving signals, transforming them, and passing them forward with remarkable precision. These messages are not rushed. They travel at speeds perfectly matched to your needs, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, always intentional. A neuron is shaped in a way that feels almost poetic. It has branching arms that reach outward, listening for information, and a long, delicate pathway that carries messages onward. When one neuron finishes its message, it does not touch the next one directly. Instead, there is a tiny space between them, a silent gap called a synapse. In this space, chemistry and electricity meet. Neurotransmitters drift across like soft sparks of light, carrying meaning rather than force. This is how thoughts form, how emotions rise, how pain is felt, and how calm spreads. Some parts of the nervous system are always under your awareness. When you move your hand, when you speak, when you decide to shift your position, those actions are guided by voluntary pathways. But most of the nervous system works quietly in the background without ever asking for attention. It controls your heartbeat, your digestion, your blood pressure, your temperature, and even the size of your pupils. Right now, it is adjusting your internal world to match rest, lowering unnecessary activity and conserving energy. Deep within this system is a constant conversation between safety and survival. When danger is sensed, even subtly, the nervous system prepares the body, tightening muscles, sharpening awareness, increasing heart rate. This response once protected humans from immediate physical threats. Over time, however, modern stress taught the nervous system to stay alert longer than necessary. Sleep and deep rest are how this system remembers that it does not need to stay guarded forever. As calm continues, the nerves that signal threat begin to quiet. The body releases stress chemicals more slowly, and soothing chemicals become more present. Muscles loosen not because they are told to, but because the nervous system withdraws the signal to hold. Pain often decreases this way, not by force, but by permission. When the nervous system feels safe, it no longer needs to amplify sensations to gain attention. There is also memory stored within this network, not just memories of events, but memories of sensations. The nervous system remembers old injuries, emotional experiences, patterns of tension. This does not mean it is trapped in the past. It means it is protective. When awareness and rest are introduced, those old patterns can soften. Neural pathways are flexible, capable of change even later in life. Calm repetition teaches the system new rhythms. As you breathe slowly, imagine signals traveling from your lungs to your brain, gently informing it that oxygen is plentiful and movement is smooth. The brain responds by sending reassurance back down the spine. This loop continues again and again, a quiet exchange that slowly rewires tension into ease. Your nervous system learns from experience, and right now the experience is softness. Sleep is when this learning deepens. During rest, the nervous system sorts information, strengthens useful pathways, and dissolves unnecessary ones. It cleans itself, clears waste, and resets sensitivity. This is why deep rest feels restorative rather than empty. It is active in the most gentle way possible. You may notice that as the nervous system settles, time itself feels different. Thoughts slow. Sensations blur into comfort. Awareness becomes wide and soft. This is not absence, it is integration. The nervous system is moving toward balance, where alertness and calm exist together without conflict. Remain here, wrapped in this quiet communication within your body. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to be fixed. Your nervous system has evolved over millions of years to keep you alive, aware, and adaptable. Tonight, it simply rests, glowing softly, maintaining harmony while you drift further into stillness. Along the spine, the central pathway of this system, messages glide up and down like soft currents of light. This long column of nerves is not rigid or mechanical. It is responsive, sensitive, and alive. Every slight movement, every change in pressure, every subtle shift in temperature is translated here into understanding. Yet when the body is still, the spine becomes a channel of calm, allowing the brain to sense safety through stillness. Branching outward from this center is the peripheral nervous system, extending into every muscle, organ, and layer of skin. These branches are everywhere, even in places you rarely think about. They monitor the stretch of your stomach, the warmth of your hands, the position of your jaw. Right now, they are reporting ease. They are telling the brain that the environment is quiet, that the body is supported, that there is nothing to prepare for. The nervous system also has a rhythm that follows the breath. Each inhale gently activates alertness. Each exhale signals release. When breathing slows, the system shifts naturally toward restoration. This is why long, steady breathing feels calming without effort. It speaks the language the nervous system understands best. Over time, this rhythm teaches the brain that calm can be trusted. Within this network, emotions move like weather. They are not fixed states, but temporary patterns of activity. Joy, sadness, fear, comfort all arise from different combinations of neural signals. None of them are permanent. When the nervous system is given rest, emotional intensity softens, not because emotions disappear, but because they are no longer amplified. Balance returns quietly. Pain signals also pass through these same pathways. When the nervous system is overstimulated, pain can feel louder, sharper, more persistent. But when safety is felt, the volume naturally lowers. This does not erase pain, it reframes it. The body no longer feels the need to shout for attention. Sensations become messages rather than alarms. As night deepens, the nervous system begins preparing for its most restorative work. Activity shifts away from outward awareness and toward internal repair. Neurons strengthen helpful connections and loosen others. Chemical messengers rebalance. Sensitivity resets. This is how resilience is built, not through constant action, but through cycles of rest and renewal. You may feel a gentle heaviness now, a sense that your body is sinking slightly into the surface beneath you. This is the nervous system releasing unnecessary tension, allowing gravity to do the work. Muscles receive fewer signals to contract. Thoughts lose their edges. Awareness widens and softens. In this state, the nervous system is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It is maintaining harmony between body and mind, conserving energy, and protecting you not through tension, but through calm. Nothing needs to be controlled. Nothing needs to be understood further. The system is complete in its quiet intelligence. Inside the brain, activity shifts into slower waves, wide and smooth, rolling through tissue like a distant tide. These waves do not carry sharp thoughts or urgent reactions. They carry restoration. They allow regions of the brain that work tirelessly during the day to rest, repair, and reconnect in softer ways. The nervous system is not shutting down. It is reorganizing itself gently, choosing efficiency, clarity, and balance. Deep in the center of the brain, ancient structures continue their quiet watch. These areas evolved long before language, long before modern life. They regulate instinct, emotion, and survival. When the nervous system senses safety, these older regions loosen their grip. The body no longer needs to prepare for escape or defense. Heart rate steadies. Blood pressure softens. Muscles follow suit, releasing patterns they have held unconsciously for years. The nerves that wrap around your organs begin to dominate the conversation now. They support digestion, repair, immune balance, and deep rest. Energy that once flowed outward toward alertness now flows inward toward renewal. Cells receive clearer instructions. Tissues absorb nutrients more effectively. Healing processes quietly increase, not dramatically, but consistently as they were designed to do. Even your sense of self becomes lighter here. The nervous system reduces the need to define, analyze, or anticipate. Awareness becomes spacious, drifting, unbound by urgency. Thoughts may still appear, but they pass without pulling you along. This is not emptiness. It is integration. The nervous system is aligning perception with the present moment, where nothing is required except being. Over time, states like this reshape the system itself. Neural pathways that associate rest with safety grow stronger. Pathways linked to constant vigilance slowly weaken. This is how calm becomes more accessible, how the body learns that peace is not rare or fragile. It is repeatable. It is teachable. It is built through moments exactly like this. As your breathing continues, smooth and unforced, imagine each exhale sending a signal downward through the spine, spreading outward through the nerves like warm light. That signal says there is time. It says the body is allowed to slow. It says nothing is chasing you and nothing is being lost. The nervous system receives this message clearly. It responds by deepening the quiet even further, lowering internal noise, dimming unnecessary signals, and holding you in a state where rest is not something you do, but something you return to. Along the nerves, protective coverings insulate each signal, ensuring that communication remains gentle and precise. These layers exist so that messages do not leak into noise, so that the body can remain efficient even in stillness. When the nervous system is calm, this insulation works at its best, allowing clarity without stimulation. Sensations arrive only if they matter. Everything else fades into the background. The brain now communicates with the rest of the body in a quieter language, one that does not rely on urgency. It sends signals that encourage repair, balance, and synchronization. Hormones follow this guidance, shifting toward restoration. Inflammation softens. Immune activity becomes steady rather than reactive. Pain signals that once lingered may feel distant or blurred, as if they are no longer asking to be addressed. This is also where memory loosens its grip. The nervous system stops replaying patterns from the past and rests in the present. Emotional echoes grow faint. Old stress stored in posture and muscle tone begins to dissolve, not because it is forced away, but because the system no longer sees a reason to hold it. Breathing continues to anchor this state. Each slow breath reinforces safety, feeding oxygen to every nerve, every cell, every quiet process unfolding beneath awareness. The rhythm is steady, reassuring, predictable. The nervous system thrives on predictability when it comes to rest. It allows trust to build, layer by layer. In this space, even the boundary between waking and sleeping becomes thin. The nervous system prepares to cross it smoothly, without resistance. Consciousness softens, edges blur, and time stretches. The body remains protected, monitored, and supported while awareness drifts. Nothing is required of you now. The nervous system is doing exactly what it evolved to do when conditions are right. It is maintaining life with elegance rather than force, presence rather than vigilance. As you continue drifting through this calm inner space, it becomes natural to sense that the nervous system did not appear suddenly or fully formed. It is the result of a very long story, one that began far before thoughts, far before emotions, far before awareness as you know it now. Long ago, the earliest forms of life did not have brains, nerves, or sensations. They responded to the world through simple chemical reactions, slow and automatic, guided only by light, temperature, and nourishment. Over time, these reactions became more refined, more coordinated, quietly evolving into the earliest signaling systems. These early systems were not about thinking. They were about survival. A simple signal that meant move toward warmth, withdraw from harm, or remain still was enough. As life became more complex, so did the need for faster communication. Cells began to specialize. Some became better at sensing the environment. Others became better at responding. Eventually, pathways formed between them, the first faint outline of what would one day become a nervous system. As organisms grew larger, signals needed to travel farther. Chemical diffusion alone was no longer enough. Speed mattered. This pressure shaped the evolution of nerve cells, allowing electrical signals to move rapidly across long distances. What began as scattered points of communication slowly organized into networks. These networks did not exist to create thoughts or personalities. They existed to coordinate movement, balance, and basic survival. With time, clusters of nerve cells formed. These clusters allowed signals to be processed rather than simply passed along. This was the beginning of decision-making, though not in the conscious sense. It was the ability to compare signals, to choose one response over another. The nervous system became not just a messenger, but a filter. As evolution continued, these clusters centralized. In many creatures, nerve cells gathered near the front of the body, where sensing the environment was most effective. This centralization marked the early beginnings of brains. These early brains were small, focused almost entirely on movement, feeding, and threat detection. There was no reflection, no imagination, only responsiveness. Over millions of years, layers were added. New structures did not replace old ones, they built upon them. The ancient survival circuits remained, while newer layers allowed for learning, memory, and emotional complexity. This layering is still present in the human nervous system today. Deep within your brain are structures that resemble those of early animals, still quietly managing survival. Above them sit newer regions that allow reasoning, creativity, and self-awareness. This layered design is part of what makes the nervous system feel so complex. Different parts evolved at different times, for different purposes, yet they must work together seamlessly. When everything is balanced, this collaboration feels effortless. When stress appears, older survival circuits may dominate, temporarily overriding newer, calmer processes. This is not a flaw. It is a reflection of the system's history. As life became more social, the nervous system adapted again. Sensitivity to others, to facial expressions, tone of voice, and subtle cues became important. New neural pathways supported empathy, bonding, and cooperation. Pain was no longer only physical. Emotional pain emerged as a signal tied to connection and belonging. The nervous system learned to protect not just the body, but relationships. Complexity grew quietly. Billions of neurons formed trillions of connections. Each experience shaped these connections, strengthening some, weakening others. The nervous system became both inherited and personal, shaped by evolution and by individual life. No two systems became exactly the same, even though they followed the same basic design. Despite this immense complexity, the nervous system remains remarkably gentle when conditions allow. It prefers balance over chaos, rhythm over urgency. When the environment feels safe, when breathing slows, when the body rests, the system returns to its most efficient state. Ancient and modern circuits align. Survival and awareness stop competing. As you rest now, you are feeling the outcome of this long evolution. Millions of years of adaptation have made it possible for your body to relax deeply, to restore itself, to shift from action to renewal without instruction. The same system that once helped ancestors sense danger now helps you sense peace. As this calm awareness continues, it becomes easier to sense how the structure of the nervous system changes across a lifetime, not abruptly, but gradually, like a landscape shaped by seasons rather than storms. The nervous system of a child is not smaller or weaker. It is simply more open, more fluid, still forming its pathways with extraordinary speed. In early life, neurons reach outward eagerly, creating connections at a rate that will never again be matched. This is why learning feels effortless in youth. The nervous system is designed then for expansion, exploration, and rapid adaptation. In a young nervous system, communication is abundant and flexible. Pathways form quickly in response to experience. When a child learns to walk, speak, or understand emotions, the nervous system is weaving entirely new networks. Signals travel along freshly built routes, and unused connections are gently trimmed away. This pruning is not loss, it is refinement. The system is learning what matters most in the environment it inhabits. As the body matures, the nervous system begins to shift its priorities. In adulthood, growth gives way to efficiency. Pathways that are used frequently become stronger and more stable. Those that are rarely used fade quietly into the background. This creates consistency, reliability, and identity. Movements become smoother. Reactions become more predictable. Memory becomes structured. The nervous system favors stability over novelty. In younger individuals, the insulating layers around nerve fibers are still developing. As these layers thicken with age, signals travel more efficiently and with greater precision. This insulation allows faster communication and clearer separation between signals. It is one reason why coordination improves as children grow, and why attention becomes more focused with maturity. As years pass, the nervous system continues to adapt. In older adulthood, changes occur more subtly. Neurons may not regenerate as readily, and communication can slow slightly. Reaction times lengthen, not because the system is failing, but because it is conserving energy. The nervous system becomes more selective, prioritizing essential signals over constant responsiveness. Experience leaves its imprint here. An older nervous system carries the memory of countless patterns, movements, emotions, and responses. This accumulated history can bring wisdom, emotional regulation, and resilience. The system learns which signals require action and which can be ignored. Calm becomes easier to access when stress is no longer interpreted as constant threat. However, the same stability that brings resilience can also bring rigidity. Pathways that are deeply ingrained may resist change. New learning can take longer, not because the system is incapable, but because it prefers familiar routes. Gentle repetition, rest, and safety are what allow older nervous systems to remain adaptable. Importantly, the nervous system never stops changing. Plasticity remains throughout life, though it moves at a slower, steadier pace. Sleep, movement, meaningful connection, and calm awareness all support this ongoing flexibility. The difference between a younger and older system is not one of ability, but of rhythm. One expands quickly, the other refines deeply. As you rest now, your own nervous system exists somewhere along this continuum, carrying both openness and experience. It responds not just to the present moment, but to the entire history that shaped it. Yet in stillness, age matters less. Calm reaches both young and old systems in the same way, through safety, softness, and breath. Remain here, allowing your nervous system to settle into its natural rhythm, honoring both the flexibility of youth and the depth of experience that time brings, as it continues its quiet, intelligent work within you. As the quiet deepens, attention naturally turns to why the nervous system matters so profoundly, why every breath, movement, thought, and feeling depends on its silent coordination. The nervous system is not simply a network of wires carrying messages back and forth. It is the body's listening field, constantly receiving information, interpreting meaning, and choosing how to respond. Without it, there would be no awareness, no adaptation, no sense of self moving through the world. At every moment, the nervous system gathers signals from within and around you. Pressure on the skin, light entering the eyes, sound vibrating the inner ear, chemical changes in the blood, tension in muscles, shifts in posture, even the rhythm of the heart. These signals do not arrive as words or images. They arrive as electrical impulses and chemical messengers, flowing along pathways shaped by evolution and experience. The brain acts as an interpreter rather than a commander. It does not issue constant orders. Instead, it weighs patterns, compares them to memory, and predicts what might happen next. Based on this prediction, the nervous system adjusts. Muscles relax or tighten. Hormones rise or fall. Attention narrows or widens. All of this happens before conscious thought becomes involved. Awareness follows action rather than leading it. The spinal cord serves as a central river through which information flows. Some signals rise upward toward the brain, carrying sensory information. Others flow downward, guiding movement and internal regulation. Many responses never reach conscious awareness at all. Reflexes exist to protect the body faster than thought ever could. A hand withdraws from heat before the mind recognizes danger. This efficiency is not automatic behavior. It is intelligence distributed throughout the body. The nervous system also works in layers. The outermost layer responds to the external world, helping you navigate space, interact with others, and respond to immediate changes. Deeper layers regulate internal balance. They control digestion, heart rate, breathing, temperature, and immune response. Even deeper still are the emotional and survival circuits, constantly scanning for safety or threat, shaping mood and energy without conscious permission. What makes the nervous system essential is its ability to integrate these layers into a single experience. You do not feel your heart rate as a separate system from your thoughts. You do not experience digestion apart from emotion. Everything is blended into one continuous sense of being. When this integration is smooth, the body feels coherent and at ease. When it is disrupted, discomfort, anxiety, or pain may arise. The nervous system is also a bridge between past and present. It carries memory not only in thoughts, but in muscle tone, posture, and automatic reactions. Experiences that were once necessary for survival may still influence responses long after they are needed. Yet this same system holds the capacity for change. Through calm repetition, safety, and rest, old patterns can soften. New ones can emerge. Perhaps most importantly, the nervous system determines how rest feels. Sleep is not simply the absence of activity. It is a state actively created by the nervous system when conditions feel safe enough. The ability to let go, to drift, to surrender awareness, depends on signals that say nothing needs to be monitored. This is why gentleness, predictability, and slow breathing are so powerful. They speak directly to the system that decides whether rest is allowed. In this moment, as you listen, your nervous system is demonstrating its importance simply by maintaining this state of calm attention. It is regulating your breath, balancing internal chemistry, and guiding awareness towards stillness. Nothing about this process requires effort. It unfolds naturally when the system senses safety. Remain here, allowing the nervous system to continue its quiet work, appreciating not through thought, but through sensation, the intricate intelligence that supports every moment of your life, carrying you gently toward deeper rest and renewal. As this calm awareness continues, it becomes possible to explore why the nervous system sometimes struggles, not as a failure, but as a response shaped by experience, environment, and time. A nervous system does not malfunction randomly. It adapts. And sometimes, those adaptations remain active long after the conditions that created them have passed. The nervous system evolved to protect life. Its primary role is survival, not comfort. When it detects threat, whether physical or emotional, it shifts into states designed to keep you safe. Muscles tense, attention sharpens, breathing changes, pain sensitivity may increase. These responses are intelligent and useful in moments of danger. But when stress becomes constant, when uncertainty lingers, or when rest is repeatedly interrupted, the nervous system may stay activated longer than necessary. Over time, this prolonged activation can feel like malfunction. Signals become louder. Pain becomes more persistent. Sleep becomes shallow. Emotions feel harder to regulate. Yet beneath all of this, the system is still doing what it learned to do. Remain alert, remain prepared, remain responsive. One common reason the nervous system struggles is chronic stress. When stress hormones circulate too frequently, the system loses its natural rhythm between activation and rest. Instead of moving fluidly between states, it becomes stuck. The body may feel tense even when nothing is happening. The mind may stay busy even when tired. This is not weakness. It is a nervous system that has forgotten how safety feels. Another reason lies in unresolved experiences. Trauma does not live only in memory. It settles into neural pathways, muscle tone, and reflexes. The nervous system learns from repetition. If certain patterns were once necessary to endure pain, loss, or fear, they may persist quietly in the background. The body remembers even when the mind moves on. Signals continue to fire, not because danger is present, but because the system learned that vigilance was once essential. Modern life also plays a role. Artificial light, constant noise, digital stimulation, irregular sleep, and limited movement all influence nervous system balance. The system evolved in environments with natural rhythms, clear day and night cycles, and frequent periods of stillness. When those rhythms disappear, the nervous system works harder to maintain balance, sometimes at the cost of calm. Inflammation, illness, and nutritional imbalance can also affect how nerves communicate. Signals may travel less efficiently. Sensations may become distorted. Pain may appear without clear injury. Again, this is not random. Nerves rely on precise chemical conditions to function smoothly. When those conditions shift, communication changes. Importantly, a nervous system under strain is not broken. It is overworked. It has been asked to adapt repeatedly without enough time to recover. What feels like malfunction is often exhaustion at a cellular level. Neurons need rest. Pathways need quiet. Hormones need space to return to baseline. The hopeful truth is that the nervous system remains adaptable throughout life. It responds to safety, repetition, and gentleness. Slow breathing, consistent sleep, calm movement, and supportive connection all send powerful signals that conditions have changed. Over time, the system learns again how to soften. In this moment, nothing needs to be fixed. Simply understanding brings a shift. Awareness itself tells the nervous system that attention is present without danger. That alone can begin to lower the volume of unnecessary signals. As you settle further into this awareness, imagine the nervous system not as a single entity, but as a vast, interwoven network stretching from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. Every neuron, every glial cell, every synapse carries whispers of information, moving signals of sensation, thought, and emotion with incredible precision. These pathways have formed over a lifetime, shaped by experiences, choices, injuries, joys, and fears. Some are new and flexible, responding easily to calm and gentle guidance. Others are older, deeply embedded, holding patterns that have repeated for years, even decades. And yet, the system is resilient. It continuously adapts, reorganizes, and seeks equilibrium, even in the face of repeated stress or trauma. The spinal cord, like a central highway, channels messages to and from the brain, while peripheral nerves branch outward like a forest of delicate branches, touching every muscle, organ, and tissue. When you inhale slowly, imagine these branches extending fully, reaching into the deepest recesses of your body, carrying signals of oxygen, warmth, and safety. With each exhale, imagine tension flowing back up these pathways, carried away as effortlessly as leaves drifting on a stream. Every part of this network has a role, a purpose, a reason for existing, and even when pain or discomfort arises, It is simply a message, a signal that something needs attention, adjustment, or awareness. Consider the autonomic nervous system operating quietly beneath consciousness. It regulates your heart rate, breathing, digestion, and hormone release. It is split into two branches: the sympathetic, which responds to perceived threats with alertness and energy, and the parasympathetic, which restores calm and encourages repair. Over time, repeated stress can bias the system toward the sympathetic state, leaving the body in subtle tension, muscles slightly contracted, breath shorter, and thoughts racing. But with gentle intervention, slow breathing, mindful presence, rhythmic movement, the parasympathetic system can reclaim balance, sending waves of calm that ripple through every neuron, every organ, every capillary. Imagine the brainstem, a small yet vital structure, as a quiet sentinel watching over the body. It manages the rhythm of your heart, the automaticity of your breathing, the coordination of reflexes that you rarely think about. Sitting above it, the limbic system processes emotion and memory, storing both trauma and joy, sadness and comfort. These areas communicate constantly, sending chemical messages that influence mood, sensation, and physical experience. When a memory or sensation arises as tension, the system is simply alerting you to what it has stored. It is not trying to harm you. And the more you acknowledge these signals without fear or judgment, the more the nervous system learns that these patterns can relax, that old reflexes can soften, and that equilibrium is possible. Over years and decades, the nervous system changes. In youth, it is flexible and highly adaptive, forming new connections with ease. In older age, it becomes more deliberate, pathways are more set, and signals travel slightly slower. Yet even as time passes, neuroplasticity remains, a continuous opportunity for learning, recovery, and adaptation. Gentle exercises, mindful movement, meditation, and consistent sleep strengthen these connections, creating bridges across old pathways, allowing information to flow smoothly, and reducing the intensity of pain or stress signals. Sleep itself is a vital partner to the nervous system. During deep and restorative sleep, the brain cleanses itself of metabolic waste, reorganizes synapses, and consolidates memories. Emotions are processed, unresolved tension is diminished, and alertness is restored for the coming day. When sleep is disrupted, these processes are incomplete, leaving signals amplified, pathways overactivated, and the body braced unnecessarily. By prioritizing rest, you directly support the nervous system's natural rhythms, encouraging repair, clarity, and resilience. Nutrition and hydration also play subtle roles. Essential fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants provide building blocks for cell membranes, neurotransmitter synthesis, and signal propagation. Water maintains electrical conductivity, allows chemical reactions to occur efficiently, and supports the movement of nutrients and waste. The nervous system thrives when its environment is stable, nourished, and hydrated. Even gentle attention to diet, fresh foods, moderate sugars, adequate water, feeds not just the body, but the intricate network of neurons and glial cells that carry the essence of your experience. Movement is another language the nervous system understands deeply. Gentle stretching, slow walking, tai chi, or yoga teaches the body that muscles can release, joints can move safely, and signals from the periphery are predictable and non-threatening. Every contraction released, every joint mobilized, every controlled motion communicated through proprioceptive feedback tells the nervous system, "You are safe. You may relax." Over time, these small patterns accumulate, reshaping neural maps and quieting chronic tension. The mind and nervous system are inseparable. Thoughts, perceptions, and beliefs shape neural circuits just as much as physical experiences. Worry and anticipation can heighten sympathetic activation. Calm reflection and mindfulness can enhance parasympathetic activity. By observing sensations without immediate reaction, by noticing tension and letting it soften with awareness, you create a feedback loop of regulation. You are not simply reacting to the nervous system. You are teaching it, guiding it, reminding it that presence, attention, and care are enough. As you lie in stillness, imagine the nervous system as a living web of light. Every neuron glows softly, flickering with electrical pulses that carry messages of sensation, thought, and emotion. The pathways that were once tense or overactive now shimmer with balance. Areas that held discomfort relax like gentle waves spreading across calm waters. The brain's regulatory centers, the spinal cord's highways, and the peripheral network's delicate branches all hum in synchronized rhythm. You sense not only the complexity, but also the inherent elegance of this system. Pain, stress, or discomfort may still arise, yet each signal is now met with acknowledgement rather than resistance. The nervous system begins to trust your presence, recognizing that tension is met with care, that signals are seen and received, not fought against. Gradually, the web of nerves learns that it can soften without consequence. That rest is a permission granted rather than a danger encountered. Remain here, enveloped in awareness, as the nervous system continues its quiet work. Let breath, stillness, and attention provide the signals of safety it has long awaited. Each pulse, each flicker of neural activity, each ripple of chemical release is a reminder. The nervous system is resilient, patient, and capable of deep restoration. In this stillness, it continues to heal, adapt, and optimize, preparing you for every sensation, thought, and movement that the next moment will bring. As you remain settled, imagine the nervous system not only as a web but as a living river of communication, constantly flowing, reshaping, and responding to the world both outside and inside your body. Each nerve fiber carries its own tone, its own rhythm, and its own subtle message. Some signals are immediate and urgent, a touch of heat, a sudden movement, a change in pressure, while others are slow and steady, whispering to the brain the ongoing state of your internal organs, the level of hydration, the presence of tension, or the subtle shifts in hormone levels. These signals blend together in a continuous symphony of awareness, each contributing to the orchestration of movement, sensation, and perception. Picture, if you will, the spinal cord once again, stretching from the base of the skull down to the lower back. It is not a simple column of fibers, but a complex and layered structure, with nerves entering and exiting at precise points, like tributaries feeding into and out of a river. Here, reflexes occur almost instantaneously. A sharp touch, a step on an uneven surface, a stumble, all of these signals bypass conscious thought, moving with rapid precision to protect the body. This reflexive intelligence is ancient, evolved over millions of years, yet it remains alive and functional in you now, quietly safeguarding your body even as you drift in relaxation. Above the spinal cord, the brain orchestrates more complex processes. The cerebrum, divided into hemispheres and further into lobes, handles sensation, movement, reasoning, memory, and emotion. The cerebellum fine-tunes movement, balance, and coordination, ensuring that the body acts fluidly, smoothly, and efficiently. And the brainstem, humble but vital, oversees the continuous rhythm of life, heartbeat, breathing, digestion, and sleep cycles. All these areas communicate through trillions of synapses, exchanging electrical and chemical messages, forming networks that adapt continuously based on your experiences and environment. Now consider the sensory system, a branch of the nervous system that interprets the world around you. Eyes send visual cues, ears carry sound, skin transmits touch, temperature, and pain, while the tongue and nose detect taste and scent. Each of these senses feeds into the nervous system, giving the brain a detailed, layered understanding of reality. Signals travel at astonishing speeds, sometimes exceeding 100 meters per second, allowing the body to react almost instantaneously to stimuli. Yet within this rapid communication, there is room for subtlety. The nervous system interprets gentle touch differently from a firm pressure, a whisper differently from a shout, a warm breeze differently from a chill. Every nuance is noticed, cataloged, and responded to, shaping your perception, mood, and physical state. As you breathe slowly and evenly, imagine the nervous system's ability to adapt over time. In youth, its plasticity is profound. Neurons form connections readily, and the body learns quickly. Every repeated motion strengthens pathways, every experience leaves a trace, and every sensation contributes to the intricate map of your internal world. As time passes, some pathways stabilize, others weaken, yet new connections remain possible, especially when given care, attention, and gentle practice. Even in later years, the nervous system can be guided, coaxed, and strengthened, its pathways becoming more resilient, its messages more balanced, and its responsiveness more precise. The autonomic nervous system, constantly at work beneath awareness, deserves closer attention. The sympathetic branch, often called the fight or flight system, is designed to prepare the body for immediate action. Muscles tense, heart rate accelerates, and senses sharpen. In contrast, the parasympathetic branch, or rest and digest system, allows the body to conserve energy, repair tissue, digest food efficiently, and regulate calm states. Modern life can sometimes overactivate the sympathetic branch, creating subtle, ongoing tension. Awareness, gentle movement, deep breathing, and mindfulness provide signals that encourage the parasympathetic system to engage, lowering heart rate, relaxing muscles, and bringing a sense of safety throughout the body. Imagine now the brain's reward system. Structures like the amygdala, hippocampus, and nucleus accumbens work together to process emotion, memory, and pleasure. Every experience leaves a subtle trace, influencing how signals travel and how responses are generated. Pain and pleasure, stress and relief, fear and joy, these are all interpreted through the nervous system. The more we acknowledge sensations without judgment, the more the system learns to respond with equilibrium rather than overreaction. Each moment of awareness, each breath, each mindful pause reinforces the nervous system's capacity for calm, clarity, and resilience. Let us also explore the concept of interoception, the nervous system's ability to sense the internal state of the body, the heart's rhythm, the fullness of the stomach, the temperature of the skin, and the tension in muscles are all continuously monitored. These subtle signals inform the brain about the needs of the body, creating a dialogue between awareness and physiological function. By tuning into interoception, you begin to notice early signs of tension, fatigue, or imbalance, allowing gentle adjustments before discomfort or pain becomes more pronounced. As you drift further into this visualization, picture each neuron glowing softly, connected by luminous threads of synapses. Some areas glow brighter, representing activity, learning, or heightened sensation. Others are dimmer, signaling rest or relaxation. This dynamic pattern reflects not just function but also balance. When tension is held in muscles, the nervous system may amplify signals. When the body and mind are safe, signals travel with ease, subtlety, and grace. By observing, breathing, and resting, you provide the nervous system with signals of safety, teaching it that relaxation is possible, that old patterns can soften, and that equilibrium is achievable. Sleep continues to play a vital role. During deep sleep, the glymphatic system clears metabolic waste from the brain, the hippocampus consolidates memory, and the autonomic nervous system resets its balance. Hormones are regulated, muscles are repaired, and neurons form new connections. Chronic sleep deprivation, in contrast, disrupts these processes, leading to heightened stress signals, reduced plasticity, and an overactive sympathetic nervous system. By prioritizing sleep, you actively support the nervous system's health, allowing restoration, clarity, and calm to permeate every fiber of the body. Nutrition and hydration further support this vast network. Healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants aid in neurotransmitter synthesis, myelin sheath formation, and synaptic function. Water ensures that electrical impulses travel efficiently, that chemical reactions proceed smoothly, and that waste is removed effectively. A nervous system nourished in this way is better able to regulate signals, respond to stimuli, and maintain balance across the entire body. Movement, too, is a language the nervous system understands deeply. Gentle stretches, slow walking, yoga, and Tai Chi teach the body that muscles can release tension safely, that joints can move freely, and that signals from the periphery are predictable and non-threatening. Each controlled motion communicates reassurance to the nervous system, encouraging calm, improving coordination, and enhancing proprioception, the sense of where the body is in space. Pain and tension, when they arise, are now received differently. Instead of a signal to resist or fight, they are understood as messages requiring attention, awareness, and gentle care. The nervous system begins to recognize that tension can be released safely, that discomfort does not require alarm, and that presence and breath are enough. Over time, this relationship with the nervous system creates resilience, reducing chronic stress, improving movement, and promoting overall well-being. As you remain settled and your breathing slows, imagine that the nervous system extends beyond what you typically perceive. It is not only the spinal cord and brain, but a vast network that stretches into every fingertip, every toe, every cell, every muscle, and every organ. Tiny nerve endings gather information constantly, sensing pressure, temperature, vibration, and subtle changes in the chemical environment. These signals are sent with astonishing precision to the spinal cord and brain, where they are processed, interpreted, and integrated into your perception of the world. Even now, as you listen, the nervous system is at work, adjusting your heart rate, guiding micro-movements of your muscles, monitoring oxygen levels, and communicating with every organ to maintain equilibrium. The sensory systems themselves are marvels of adaptation. Touch receptors in the skin can differentiate between a soft brush of hair and the firm pressure of a handshake. Thermoreceptors detect even the slightest shift in temperature, alerting you to warmth or cold before you consciously notice. Pain receptors, or nociceptors, act as guardians, signaling potential danger to prevent injury. And yet, these receptors do not merely transmit information. They interact with your emotional state, memories, and expectations. A light touch can evoke comfort, while a familiar ache can stir old tension. The nervous system weaves physical sensation and emotional experience into a seamless tapestry, creating the richness of conscious life. Now envision the autonomic nervous system again, flowing quietly beneath awareness, orchestrating involuntary processes. The sympathetic branch remains vigilant, ever ready to mobilize the body, while the parasympathetic branch allows for recovery, repair, and rest. In moments of calm, the parasympathetic system encourages the heart to slow, the lungs to expand smoothly, the digestive system to work efficiently, and the muscles to soften. When stress or danger is perceived, the sympathetic system prepares the body to respond, heightening awareness, sharpening senses, and energizing muscles. Understanding and respecting this balance is key to nervous system health, as chronic imbalance can lead to tension, fatigue, anxiety, or discomfort. Let us also explore the brain's plasticity in more depth. In youth, the nervous system is highly adaptive. Connections between neurons are rapidly formed, learning occurs quickly, and new pathways can emerge in response to experience. Even in adulthood, plasticity remains, though it may require intentional effort, repetition, and gentle challenge. Neural pathways that strengthen through repeated movement, mindful attention, and focused practice become more efficient and reliable. Conversely, pathways that are rarely used may weaken, allowing for refinement and resource allocation. This adaptability is one of the nervous system's greatest strengths, a quiet reminder that change and growth are always possible, no matter the age. Consider, too, the concept of proprioception, the body's innate sense of position and movement in space. The nervous system continuously monitors the angles of your joints, the tension in muscles, and the orientation of limbs. Proprioception allows you to move gracefully, maintain balance, and coordinate complex actions without conscious thought. When this system is disrupted, even slightly, clumsiness, instability, or discomfort can occur. By engaging in mindful movement practices, gentle stretching, slow walking, yoga, or balance exercises, you communicate reassurance to the nervous system, strengthening pathways that support stability, fluidity, and comfort. Sleep plays a critical role in this ongoing dialogue. During deep sleep, neurons consolidate memories, synapses are strengthened or pruned, and the glymphatic system clears metabolic waste. The autonomic nervous system resets, reducing overactive sympathetic signaling and promoting parasympathetic dominance. Chronic sleep deprivation, on the other hand, disrupts these restorative processes, impairing learning, memory, emotional regulation, and the nervous system's overall balance. By prioritizing sleep, you actively nurture the nervous system, giving it the time and space to repair, recalibrate, and prepare for a new day. Nutrition also influences neural health profoundly. Essential fatty acids, particularly omega-3s, support the integrity of cell membranes and synaptic function. Vitamins such as B12, folate, and vitamin D contribute to neurotransmitter synthesis, myelin formation, and cellular metabolism. Minerals like magnesium and zinc facilitate nerve signaling and reduce hyperexcitability. Hydration ensures electrical signals travel efficiently, that chemical reactions proceed smoothly, and that waste products are flushed effectively. Each meal, each sip of water becomes a subtle communication to your nervous system, a message of care, nourishment, and stability. Emotions are another integral part of this story. The nervous system does not distinguish cleanly between physical and emotional pain. Anxiety can tighten muscles, slow digestion, or elevate heart rate, just as chronic physical pain can provoke frustration, sadness, or worry. Mindfulness, meditation, and gentle breathing act as bridges between awareness and nervous system regulation, teaching the system that not all signals require urgent response, that relaxation is possible, and that resilience can be cultivated. Each slow breath is a message of calm, each moment of focused attention a reinforcement of balance. Pain, too, takes its place in this intricate network. Acute pain acts as a messenger, signaling danger or potential injury. Chronic pain, however, can become entwined with neural pathways, reinforcing tension, creating sensitivity, and amplifying signals beyond immediate necessity. By observing pain without judgment, breathing through tension, and providing movement and rest, you teach the nervous system that sensations can exist safely, that they do not always require action, and that awareness itself can facilitate healing. Let us now explore how the nervous system changes with age. In youth, neurons form and prune connections rapidly, supporting learning and adaptability. In adulthood, some pathways stabilize, providing efficiency and reliability. In older age, neurons may slow in signaling, myelin sheaths may degrade, and reflexes can weaken. Yet even in later life, the system retains remarkable plasticity. With mindful practice, gentle exercise, adequate nutrition, sleep, and emotional care, neural networks remain active, resilient, and responsive. Each deliberate movement, each mindful breath, each restorative sleep contributes to maintaining and even enhancing nervous system function. As you remain lying comfortably, imagine that every nerve in your body is a delicate thread of light, extending from the brain and spinal cord to every fingertip, every toe, every organ, and every cell. These threads carry messages continuously, often without your conscious notice, guiding movement, sensing pressure, temperature, vibration, and chemical changes, and maintaining the rhythm of your internal organs. Even as you listen to my voice, these threads are at work, adjusting your breathing, your heart rate, your digestion, and the minute postural shifts that keep you balanced. The sensory nerves act as vigilant observers, constantly monitoring the environment and your body's responses. Light touches, subtle temperature changes, or gentle vibrations are all detected and transmitted to the spinal cord and brain, where they are interpreted. Pain signals, carried by specialized nociceptors, act as guardians, alerting you to potential danger. Yet these signals are not simply warnings. They are integrated with memory, emotion, and attention, coloring your experience. A familiar ache may bring memories of past injuries, while a soothing touch can evoke calm. The nervous system blends the physical and emotional into a seamless perception of being alive. Imagine now the autonomic nervous system flowing beneath the surface of awareness. The sympathetic branch keeps the body prepared, alert to danger, and ready for action, while the parasympathetic branch allows rest, recovery, and regeneration. When you are relaxed and breathing slowly, the parasympathetic system predominates, slowing the heart, softening muscles, and allowing your digestive and immune systems to function efficiently. Chronic stress, however, can maintain a heightened sympathetic state, tightening muscles, accelerating the heart, and causing fatigue. Understanding and respecting this delicate balance is essential, as each breath, each moment of stillness, reinforces the nervous system's capacity to regulate and restore itself. Consider the plasticity of the nervous system. Neurons form new connections in response to learning, experience, and practice, allowing adaptation throughout life. Even as some pathways weaken with age, others strengthen when used consistently. Mindful movements, repetition of gentle exercises, and deliberate focus stimulate these pathways, reinforcing communication between neurons and maintaining resilience. In contrast, pathways left unused may diminish, demonstrating the nervous system's adaptability, its readiness to allocate resources where needed most. Proprioception, the body's sense of position in space, is another subtle yet vital function of the nervous system. Each joint, muscle, and tendon communicates continuously with the brain, allowing you to move gracefully, maintain balance, and coordinate complex motions without conscious effort. When proprioception is diminished, even slightly, it can lead to clumsiness, instability, or injury. Gentle stretching, slow walking, yoga, or balance exercises strengthen these pathways, teaching the nervous system to sense the body accurately and respond fluidly. Sleep plays a pivotal role in supporting neural function. During deep sleep, neurons consolidate memories, prune unnecessary connections, and strengthen essential ones. The glymphatic system clears metabolic waste, and the autonomic nervous system shifts into a parasympathetic dominant state. Chronic sleep deprivation disrupts these processes, impairing learning, memory, emotional regulation, and overall nervous system balance. Each restful night becomes a gift to the neural network, a time when repair, recalibration, and growth occur quietly yet powerfully. Nutrition directly supports neural health. Essential fatty acids maintain the fluidity of cell membranes, facilitating efficient signal transmission. Vitamins like B12, folate, and D contribute to neurotransmitter synthesis and myelin formation. Minerals such as magnesium and zinc regulate excitability and signaling. Hydration ensures that electrical impulses travel efficiently, chemical reactions proceed smoothly, and waste products are flushed. Each nourishing meal, each sip of water, becomes a subtle message to the nervous system, reinforcing stability, resilience, and optimal function. The nervous system and emotion are intricately linked. Emotional states influence muscular tension, heart rate, digestion, and chemical balance. Anxiety, for instance, may tighten muscles and accelerate the heart, while sadness or fatigue can slow movement and dull sensory awareness. Pain is interpreted through this emotional lens, amplifying or diminishing sensations depending on context, attention, and expectation. Mindfulness, meditation, and slow, intentional breathing create a bridge between awareness and regulation, teaching the nervous system that relaxation is possible and that tension is not always necessary. Each breath becomes a signal of calm. Each moment of gentle focus reinforces balance and resilience. Pain itself is part of this dialogue. Acute pain serves as a signal guiding protective action, while chronic pain can become embedded in neural pathways, creating sensitivity and heightened awareness. Observing pain without judgment, moving gently, and resting intentionally teach the nervous system that sensation can exist safely, without immediate threat, and that awareness alone can initiate subtle healing. As we explore further, consider the structural complexity of the nervous system. The brain is divided into specialized regions: the cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, each coordinating different aspects of perception, thought, emotion, and bodily function. The spinal cord acts as a highway of communication, transmitting sensory and motor signals with remarkable speed and precision. Peripheral nerves extend outward, reaching every part of the body, forming intricate networks that ensure continuous feedback and control. This system is dynamic, continuously adapting, repairing, and reorganizing itself in response to experience and need. Aging introduces subtle changes. Neural transmission may slow, reflexes may weaken, and certain sensory perceptions can diminish. Myelin, the protective sheath around many neurons, may degrade, reducing signal speed. Yet the nervous system retains plasticity. With intentional practice, gentle movement, mental stimulation, and rest, neural networks can remain resilient and responsive. Each exercise, each restorative sleep, each mindful breath contributes to the ongoing maintenance and enhancement of this extraordinary system. The nervous system also communicates with other systems in remarkable ways. The heart, for instance, responds to signals from the autonomic branches, adjusting rate and rhythm. The gut sends chemical and neural messages that influence mood and perception. Muscles provide continuous feedback, shaping posture, stability, and movement. Hormones modulate neurotransmission, affecting alertness, stress, and emotion. Every system is intertwined, a network within a network, illustrating the depth, complexity, and beauty of the body's design. As you remain comfortably lying or sitting, Imagine the intricate web of neurons extending like delicate roots and branches throughout your body. Every nerve ending is an antenna, sensing, transmitting, and responding to stimuli. Tiny chemical messengers called neurotransmitters glide across synapses, each leap a conversation, each spark a signal invisible yet vital. These chemical whispers dictate movement, emotion, thought, perception, and memory. Imagine serotonin traveling quietly through your system, influencing calm and contentment. Dopamine flows, igniting motivation, pleasure, and focus. GABA gently tempers excess excitation, offering moments of serenity. Each messenger carries instructions and feedback, maintaining harmony in the orchestra of your being. Now, picture the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord, as a luminous city. Streets of white matter carry impulses at astonishing speed, connecting neighborhoods of gray matter where complex decisions, emotions, and memories are processed. The cerebrum orchestrates thought, reasoning, and imagination. The cerebellum fine-tunes movement, balance, and coordination. The brainstem maintains life's essential rhythms: heartbeat, respiration, reflexes. Each structure is both ancient and dynamic, a product of millions of years of evolution, yet constantly adapting to your unique experiences, injuries, and learning. Consider the subtle evolution of the nervous system over time. In infancy, neurons are abundant, connections are rapidly forming, and the brain is highly plastic. Childhood is a period of exploration and rapid learning, where every new skill strengthens pathways, and every experience shapes the architecture of your mind. In adulthood, the nervous system stabilizes, pruning unused connections and solidifying frequently used pathways. In older age, some pathways slow, but with mindful activity, learning, and rest, neural networks remain robust. Even in late adulthood, the brain and nervous system are capable of remarkable adaptation, forming new connections in response to practice and environmental enrichment. Peripheral nerves carry signals from extremities to the spinal cord, while motor neurons send instructions back, enabling movement. Sensory neurons detect touch, pressure, vibration, temperature, and pain. Each sensation travels at incredible speed, allowing reflexes to occur before conscious thought even registers. Imagine stepping on a pebble. Before you fully perceive it, your foot withdraws, your body adjusts, and your brain records the experience, refining future responses. Reflex arcs are examples of the nervous system's efficiency, its ability to protect and coordinate without conscious effort. The autonomic nervous system operates quietly, yet profoundly, orchestrating internal rhythms. The sympathetic branch prepares the body for action, heightening alertness, increasing heart rate, and releasing energy stores. The parasympathetic branch promotes relaxation, digestion, and recovery, slowing the heart, softening muscles, and allowing internal systems to recalibrate. Chronic stress, by favoring sympathetic dominance, can disrupt this delicate balance, leading to tension, fatigue, and altered emotional states. Yet mindful breathing, meditation, gentle exercise, and restorative sleep reinforce parasympathetic function, teaching the nervous system that calm, safety, and recovery are possible. Now imagine the nervous system's role in pain perception. Pain is not merely a physical sensation. It is an experience shaped by attention, memory, and context. Acute pain signals danger, injury, inflammation, or strain, prompting protective action. Chronic pain, however, can persist long after tissue damage has healed, becoming embedded in neural circuits. The nervous system, in its complexity, learns from these experiences, sometimes heightening sensitivity, sometimes dampening signals. Yet with gentle movement, awareness, and relaxation, the nervous system can recalibrate, allowing you to experience sensation without distress, perception without alarm. Proprioception, the sense of body position, is another marvel of neural function. Receptors in muscles, tendons, and joints continually send information about limb orientation, tension, and movement. Your brain integrates these signals seamlessly, allowing you to walk, reach, and balance without consciously monitoring each joint or muscle. When proprioception diminishes due to injury or age, coordination suffers, and the risk of falls or strain increases. Targeted exercises, gentle stretching, and mindful movement strengthen these pathways, reinforcing the nervous system's capacity to sense, adapt, and respond. Sleep is crucial to neural maintenance. During deep stages of sleep, neurons consolidate memories, prune unnecessary connections, and strengthen vital circuits. The glymphatic system clears metabolic waste, including toxic proteins that, if accumulated, could impair cognition. Lack of sleep disrupts these processes, impairing memory, emotional regulation, and neural resilience. Each restful night, therefore, is a quiet renewal, a time when the nervous system heals, reorganizes, and prepares for the next day's challenges. Nutrition supports these intricate processes. Omega-3 fatty acids maintain membrane fluidity, enhancing signal transmission. B vitamins support neurotransmitter synthesis. Minerals like magnesium regulate excitability. Hydration ensures that electrical impulses flow without obstruction, chemical reactions proceed efficiently, and waste products are carried away. Every meal, every sip of water, becomes a subtle conversation with the nervous system, reinforcing its vitality and efficiency. Emotional regulation is deeply intertwined with neural function. Emotions influence heart rate, breathing, digestion, muscle tone, and perception. Chronic stress, anxiety, or sadness can create tension, amplify pain, and disrupt sleep. Yet mindful awareness, meditation, and controlled breathing allow the nervous system to adjust, bringing the body into alignment, softening tension, and restoring calm. Every breath, every moment of gentle focus, becomes an opportunity to teach the nervous system that relaxation is possible, even in areas long dominated by stress. The nervous system's complexity is further demonstrated by its plasticity. Learning new skills, engaging in mental challenges, or practicing movement creates new neural connections, reinforcing pathways and sometimes restoring function lost due to injury or age. Even in later life, the nervous system responds to stimulation, rewiring itself, refining pathways, and maintaining resilience. Your brain and nerves are not static. They are living, dynamic, and responsive to your actions, thoughts, and environment. Now, consider the subtle interaction of the nervous system with other bodily systems. The cardiovascular system responds to neural signals, adjusting heart rate and vascular tone. The digestive system communicates via the enteric nervous system, influencing gut motility, enzyme secretion, and microbial balance. Muscles receive continuous feedback, adjusting tension, posture, and movement. Hormones modulate neurotransmission, impacting mood, attention, and energy. Each system is integrated, forming an intricate network of communication that maintains life, supports movement, and regulates perception. As you remain comfortably settled, allow your awareness to drift deeper into the web of nerves that connect every corner of your body to your brain. Imagine the spinal cord as a long, luminous river, carrying information back and forth with astonishing precision, every vertebra providing structure and protection, yet allowing flexibility. Along this river, countless nerves branch outward, like tributaries reaching every muscle, organ, and joint. Sensory information flows upstream, the touch of a leaf, the pressure of your hand against a surface, the subtle stretch of a tendon. Motor commands flow downstream, telling your fingers to grasp, your legs to walk, your facial muscles to smile. This constant, delicate exchange occurs without your conscious effort, yet it forms the very fabric of your experience, guiding perception, action, and feeling. Consider how the nervous system ages and changes over time. In youth, neurons and synapses are abundant, highly plastic, and capable of rapid learning. Experiences, both pleasant and challenging, sculpt the neural landscape, creating pathways that will last a lifetime. As we move into adulthood, the nervous system begins to refine itself, pruning unused connections while strengthening essential ones. This process allows efficiency, but it also means that repeated stress, pain, or negative habits can leave lasting marks. In older age, some pathways slow, reflexes may be less sharp, and recovery from injury may take longer. Yet even in later life, the nervous system is remarkably adaptable. Through gentle movement, consistent learning, mindfulness, and adequate rest, neural pathways can strengthen and grow, keeping the system resilient, responsive, and alive. Now imagine the autonomic nervous system, operating quietly beneath conscious awareness, regulating heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, and hormone release. The sympathetic branch, preparing the body for action, can feel like a subtle tension in the chest or a quickened heartbeat during a moment of stress. The parasympathetic branch encourages relaxation, slowing the heart, softening muscles, and allowing the body to repair itself. Chronic stress can tip this delicate balance, leaving the sympathetic system dominant and the parasympathetic system underused, creating tension, fatigue, and emotional strain. Yet mindful breathing, gentle stretching, meditation, and restorative sleep can reestablish harmony, teaching the nervous system that calm, recovery, and safety are possible even after years of imbalance. Pain is an important function of this system, yet it is not always straightforward. Acute pain signals immediate danger, guiding the body to protect itself from harm. Chronic pain, however, can linger long after the initial injury has healed, embedding itself into neural circuits and amplifying signals unnecessarily. The nervous system, in its subtle intelligence, can sometimes overreact or misinterpret harmless stimuli, yet with awareness, movement, and gentle care, these circuits can recalibrate. Even just breathing calmly and observing sensations without judgment sends signals to the nervous system that tension can be released, that pain does not need to dominate perception, that your body is safe to relax. Proprioception, the sense of body position, is another quiet marvel. Nerves in muscles, tendons, and joints constantly send feedback about limb orientation and tension, allowing smooth, coordinated movement without conscious monitoring. When proprioception diminishes, whether due to age, injury, or inactivity, balance falters, reflexes slow, and risk of strain increases. Gentle exercises, stretching, mindful movement, and awareness of posture all serve as training for these pathways, reinforcing the nervous system's capacity to sense, respond, and adapt. Each step, each stretch, each intentional movement strengthens the dialogue between body and brain, keeping the system dynamic and responsive. Sleep plays a critical role in nervous system health. During deep sleep, neurons consolidate memories, prune unnecessary connections, and reinforce essential circuits. The glymphatic system clears metabolic waste, including proteins that could impair cognition if accumulated. Without sufficient sleep, the nervous system cannot maintain these vital processes, leading to impaired memory, slowed reflexes, emotional instability, and reduced resilience. Every restful night allows the nervous system to reorganize, repair, and rejuvenate, forming a foundation for mental clarity, emotional stability, and physical coordination. Nutrition also communicates with the nervous system. Omega-3 fatty acids support membrane fluidity and efficient signal transmission. B vitamins are critical for neurotransmitter synthesis. Magnesium regulates excitability, while antioxidants reduce oxidative stress on neurons. Adequate hydration ensures smooth electrical conduction, efficient chemical reactions, and the removal of waste. Each meal, each sip of water, becomes a subtle interaction with your nervous system, reinforcing its health and functionality. Emotions are deeply entwined with neural function. Anxiety, stress, sadness, and joy all influence heart rate, breathing, muscle tension, and perception. The nervous system records these emotional experiences, learning from them and adjusting responses accordingly. Chronic emotional strain can create persistent tension, amplify pain, and disrupt sleep, yet conscious awareness, meditation, and deep breathing allow recalibration, encouraging balance and resilience. Every calm breath, every mindful moment, strengthens these neural pathways, teaching the system that safety, rest, and calm are not only possible but natural. The plasticity of the nervous system is a profound feature, offering hope and adaptability throughout life. Learning new skills, practicing new movements, engaging in mental challenges, and exposing yourself to varied experiences create new neural connections. Old, underused pathways can strengthen with practice. Even after injury or age-related changes, the nervous system can adapt, rewire, and restore function. It is a living system, dynamic, responsive, and profoundly connected to every aspect of your existence. The nervous system is also a hub of interaction with all other body systems. The cardiovascular system responds to neural signals to adjust heart rate and blood flow. The digestive system communicates through the enteric nervous system to regulate motility, enzyme secretion, and microbial balance. Muscles receive constant feedback for posture, tension, and movement. Hormones modulate neurotransmission, influencing mood, energy, and attention. Each system integrates seamlessly with the others, forming a continuous loop of communication, regulation, and adaptation, ensuring survival, coordination, and optimal function. Consider the evolution of this intricate system. Primitive organisms had simple networks of neurons, capable only of basic reflexes. Over millions of years, these systems evolved, increasing in complexity, allowing for coordination, learning, and memory. In humans, the central nervous system forms a densely packed structure of the brain and spinal cord, while the peripheral nervous system spreads outward like an intricate lattice, reaching every part of the body. Evolution has shaped this system not only for survival, but for adaptation, for creativity, for the subtle interpretation of the world around you. As we age, these pathways shift. Young nervous systems are highly plastic, capable of rewiring, forming new connections, and rapidly learning. In adulthood, plasticity becomes more selective, focusing on efficiency and stability. In older age, some connections weaken, reflexes slow, and recovery from injury takes longer, yet the system retains remarkable adaptability. Through careful movement, mental exercises, and emotional balance, neural pathways can remain robust, maintaining coordination, sensation, and cognitive clarity. Pain, as part of this system, is an intricate teacher. Acute pain alerts, instructs, and protects. Chronic pain, however, can persist as a form of miscommunication within the nervous system, embedding itself into circuits that have learned to overreact. Awareness, mindfulness, gentle movement, and deep, slow breathing allow the nervous system to recalibrate these signals, to recognize safety, to reduce unnecessary amplification. Breathing becomes a dialogue with the nervous system, every exhale signaling release, every inhale supporting balance. The autonomic nervous system operates quietly in the background, regulating heart rate, digestion, breathing, and hormonal release. Sympathetic activation prepares the body for action, sometimes creating tension or restlessness, while parasympathetic activity encourages rest, repair, and calm. Chronic imbalance can disrupt health, creating fatigue, stress, and emotional strain. Yet with intentional practices, slow breathing, meditation, mindful movement, the nervous system learns that stillness, safety, and calm are attainable, rewiring its responses to stress. Proprioception, the body's sense of position, is a subtle yet vital function. Nerves embedded in muscles, tendons, and joints constantly feed information to the brain, guiding smooth movement, balance, and coordination. When these pathways weaken, whether due to age, injury, or inactivity, reflexes falter and the risk of strain increases. Gentle, intentional exercises, stretching, and awareness reinforce these circuits, maintaining balance and physical confidence. Sleep is a cornerstone of nervous system function. During deep, restorative sleep, neurons consolidate memories, prune unnecessary connections, and reinforce essential pathways. The glymphatic system clears metabolic waste, including proteins that could impair cognition if accumulated. Without sufficient sleep, the nervous system cannot maintain these processes, resulting in slowed reflexes, impaired memory, heightened pain sensitivity, and emotional instability. Every restful night allows neurons to reorganize, repair, and strengthen, supporting mental clarity, physical coordination, and emotional resilience. Nutrition also communicates directly with the nervous system. Omega-3 fatty acids maintain the flexibility of neuronal membranes, facilitating efficient signaling. B vitamins are essential for neurotransmitter production, magnesium moderates excitability, and antioxidants reduce oxidative stress on neurons. Proper hydration ensures smooth electrical conduction, efficient chemical reactions, and waste removal. Each meal and sip of water becomes a subtle interaction with your nervous system, supporting its function and resilience. Emotions intertwine with neural activity, influencing heart rate, breathing, muscle tension, and perception. Anxiety, stress, joy, or calm all leave neural imprints, shaping responses and influencing behavior. Chronic emotional strain can amplify pain, disrupt sleep, and create persistent tension. Conscious awareness, deep breathing, meditation, and mindful emotional engagement allow the nervous system to recalibrate, reinforcing pathways that support calm, resilience, and adaptability. The nervous system is capable of remarkable adaptability. Called plasticity, learning new skills, practicing movements, engaging in mental challenges, or exploring new experiences creates new neural connections. Even in older age or after injury, neural pathways can strengthen and adapt. The system is dynamic, responsive, and profoundly connected to every aspect of your being, shaping perception, movement, emotion, and thought.